Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. Today I'm actually waiting for some parts to show up. I had, in my last video, my positive battery cables pretty much melted. Whoa. Just plugged in the battery and had a massive overload. Waiting for some of those parts to arrive, but in the last video, the video before that, and a couple others, whenever I've been dealing with trying to get my 1968 Pontiac Le Mans started for the first time in 23 years, I had some issues with, a lot of it was mostly my distributor. I took out the old points distributor, put in a new HEI distributor. Couldn't get it into time, and had to, in the last video, I had to check to see if I could maybe get it spun over by a couple of notches to see when it goes back in that maybe I'd have a little more room to adjust my timing. In Pontiacs, the Pontiac goes, the distributor, the rotor spins around counterclockwise. Chevy's clockwise. Still has the same firing order, 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2, but it goes backwards. It goes counterclockwise. The other thing is in almost all of those videos, somebody told me at least 1 or 2 comments each video. You put your distributor in wrong. Your distributor's backwards. The distributor's 180 out. The dizzy's backwards. And so I decided to kind of go check and see. When I took this one out and went to go to put in that HEI distributor, watched a couple of videos on YouTube. And, you know, these were Pontiacs and not necessarily just any GM, any muscle car, anything like that. And in all the Pontiac videos, one from Arrowhead Garage, there's a couple others I'll put up here to show you and then show you in the, or put the link down in the description. In all those videos, they've got the vacuum advance on the driver's hand side. So it's on the left-hand side. And all Chevy's, the vacuum advance, is on the right-hand side. So it's on the passenger side. So I have a feeling that a lot of people, were telling me, hey, you've got it backwards, you've got it backwards. And I just, sort of dismissed it and laughed it off and said, no, they have no idea what they're talking about. So I kind of wanted to really check and see. Did a lot of research. I Googled everything and mostly came up with forums. A lot of people in the forums said, yeah, the Pontiac distributor goes in with the vacuum advance on the right-hand side, or on the left-hand side on the driver's side. In fact, in one of the comments in one of the forums, he said, factory orientation, if you're curious, had the diaphragm pointed across at the driver's side fender. And of course, that's a form. Just like watching YouTube videos, you don't know for sure if you're getting the correct information. And in the forums, you don't know if you're getting, one person says, oh, do this. One person says, oh, it doesn't matter. One person says, no, do that. So I figured, let's really get right down to what it says from Pontiac. And so I did a little research. I actually found online a 1968 Pontiac service manual for the Tempest and the Firebird. And I went through several hundred pages until I got down to the distributors, and it actually says from Pontiac, install distributor in block so that vacuum diaphragm faces left side of engine and rotor points towards contact and cap for number 1. Left side. Left side, if you don't know, is driver's side. So yeah, basically from the 1968 Pontiac manual, the vacuum advance faces the driver's side. My problem was I wasn't having very much room because when it's on this side, the distributor hole and the vacuum advance is fairly closer to the driver's side head than it is to the passenger side head. And my problem was I just couldn't advance it. With a Pontiac distributor, you turn it right to advance, turn it left to retard. And I was running out of room. The vacuum was actually, and the line was actually hitting the head. But yeah, so I just wanted to sort of address everybody who said, hey, you're doing it wrong. Guess what? I was doing it correctly. Yeah, I mean, so it's one of those things where it just pays to sort of go to the source if you can and find out what's true, what's Don't always trust maybe what's on YouTube. Don't always trust what people are talking about in the forums. Don't trust what people tell you in the comments. In fact, some people say never read the comments, but I try to read all my comments. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Just sort of a little car talk off the top of my head while I was waiting for parts to show up. And if you can comment, let me know what you think. One of the questions I actually have is, why can't I put this in backwards? Put it on so that the vacuum advance is on the left-hand side. I'd still be able to do the same orientation for the spark plug wires. I could still do 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2 all the way around. Still have the rotor pointed at number 1 and have it on this side. I think I would have a little bit more room in order to advance my timing, because right now I just don't have that much on it when it's on this side. So, you know, that being said, why not turn it around and actually do it the other way? Nobody says you can't. I don't think. I mean, I don't think it would not work. As long as I still have the rotor facing towards number 1. They usually say number 1 is usually for a Pontiac, it's pointed towards the wiper motor, just to give you an idea. I know in Chevys, a lot of the times it's actually pointed towards number 1 cylinder in the engine. Pontiacs, it's actually up here more like 1:30, 2 o'clock on, you know, you're looking down at your distributor. And I figure if I still had that same orientation and I just had the distributor all the way around, I think it still might work. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you can, subscribe. I'm still going to be doing a lot of work on my 1968 Pontiac Le Mans. Got a lot of things to do to it. I got to get that engine out. I got to get everything cleaned up. I got to clean out that oil pan. I got to check to make sure my transmission's working. I got to refresh my interior, which has been sitting for 23 years. You know, a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, please subscribe if you can. It really does help the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.